You're listening to
Beyond the Gates Tea, the podcast.
Welcome to Beyond the Gates Tea, the podcast. I'm your host, Cornelius, and this past week was a short one for us gatekeepers. Soccer preempted our time in Fairmont Crest, but the episodes that aired revealed some major connections to storylines we're wanting to see wrapped up, aka the Plasma Ring storyline. Anyway, I'll talk about those in a bit, but first, my guest this week is one of my good friends, Amber Grigley, who just started, can you believe this? She just started watching Beyond the Gates. Now, when we had this conversation, she was on episode 76. Talking to Amber made me really appreciate everything we fans have been through with Beyond the Gates. And after listening to this conversation, I hope you, too, have that same appreciation.
Okay, lay it on me. Tell me all about your Beyond the Gates questions. I am dying to know. I will answer what I can, and what I can't, well, I won't.
Okay. Well, I'm on episode 76. It's the episode pretty much where I'm at. Bill just got out of the hospital from his minor stroke. Chelsea is, I guess, introducing her family to her partner, Dr. Montgomery, and Ashley just turned down Derek, and Nicole and Ted, they're just still in this question mark right now. Leslie and Eva, they're still a question mark because we don't know what will happen, whether they will be able to bring Leslie in on the charges of trying to almost kill Laura or run her off the road. But I have a lot. First and foremost, I'm going to start with Bill and Danny. I love Danny. Let's say that. I love me some Danny. Like when I see her on the screen, I light up. I love her energy. And I think that she is misunderstood. I think that she has a lot of energy and she loves hard. And because I could see like pieces of myself in her, that's why I love her. Because, you know, she loves hard. She wears her heart on her sleeve. But don't cross her, because when you cross her, it is, whoo. I said from the very beginning that Bill still loved Danny. Hopefully it will come out as I get further along. Again, I'm on episode 76. Hopefully it will come out the reason why he did the whole Haley situation, because that does not make sense to me. And I don't think that he's excited that she's pregnant. I don't think he's excited about that. I think he's putting on, but I don't think he's excited. And I think having Danny go to the hospital the way she did, I think it reignited like his love and connection. And because they had some episode, like some moments where like they peeped, you know, Haley's look where she's kind of like, oh, wow, because he's just smiling and gazing at Danny, saying, thank you for checking on me and stuff like that. So I really do want to see what happens with the whole Bill and Danny storyline. And I know that sounds weird because I'm like, everybody should probably be rooting for her to leave him. I really hope that she, I guess, connect with Ted's doctor friend. What's his name?
Carlton?
Yes. I hope that she connects with him. I can see that happening. And as soon as she connects, I think that's going to send Bill over. Like, you know, it's all cool when I'm moved on, but when I see you move on, yeah, nah, that's not going to fly with him. I applaud his girls for holding him accountable. And, you know, of course they have to be nice to him because, you know, they thought he was about to die from or sick with his stroke. But I'm glad that they are not letting up on Haley right now, because that's wrong. You know, the question I have, this random disappearance of Anita Dupree, she's gone right now. So she's, I guess, in Chicago with the Articulates to do a show or something to that extent. Mm-hmm. So I wonder what's happening with that. That storyline is kind of weird to me anyways, to be honest with you. Yeah, I guess I don't really care about her reliving her glory days.
You don't care about the Articulates?
No. Because she didn't want to do it no way. She don't like the women. I was just playing. But no, it'll be cute, hopefully, when it finally comes out.
Mm-hmm.
The questions I have, okay. What is Kat's deal? Kat is getting on my nerves.
You don't like Kat?
Maybe not right now. I wouldn't say I don't like Kat. She's just doing too much. She's doing
Okay,
too
tell
much.
me what she's doing because, girl, I'm on. It's been a long time since episode 76 for me. So what is she doing right now?
I know they're on like what episode, like what, almost 400 now.
Like two something, but like
So,
I stopped
yeah.
in my recaps. I stopped putting episodes and I just started putting days because I said, wait a second, we're on season 2. No. So what is Kat doing right now?
She's playing like Inspector Gadget. Like she's trying to find Leslie. She snuck into Eva's hotel room, found the bag with the helmet, put it in Leslie's, planted back in Leslie's home, had them like, she's just doing too much.
Hmm.
You know, Jacob said he had it, let him have it, but I think like she's dragging out the whole like, will Leslie get in trouble for her actions because she's tampering with evidence and trying to take matters into her own hands. So that's pissing me off. And she's a little bratty. She's a little bratty. And if I'm being completely honest, I would rather see Tomas with Eva.
With Eva, yes. Okay, I will tell you. In the beginning, I saw that as well. Like, and I mean, I still see that. Like, and I'm not like spoiling anything for you, but they have such a great connection together. Like, they read the same
Ew.
books. Yeah, they look so good together on screen, Eva and Tomas. So I'm right there with you on that. Like, I was rooting for them, still rooting for them.
And I feel like Tomas, he has like a motive behind why he likes Cat. I don't, it's like you can't put your finger on it, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like it's genuine. And I think when he's around Eva, he's able to be himself.
Right. He's not putting on airs because he's with
Yeah.
this Dupree grandchild and, her cousins, their father runs the law firm that's, you know, making his career, making or breaking his career.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So my next question, I guess, would be what's going to happen with Nicole and Ted?
Well, where are you now? What do you like? What have you seen?
So I mean, I've seen the fallout, but right now it's like nothing happened. Like he's still living in a hotel. They're not really talking. They're, seeing each other because in passing, but like there's nothing. Like she's still grieving. She was like upset because her mom is in Chicago and she was like, I really need my mom. And then that's when Danny came and said, just throw all these dishes and all that. So like, we're seeing Nicole, but not that much.
Yeah. So you saw the anniversary party. Is that what you said?
Yes. Yes, I already saw
Okay.
that
You
blow
saw
up.
that. You saw that. Okay. Yeah. I feel like the people I interview from the show, like I'm trying to not just blurt stuff out. I'm trying to be thoughtful. I remember feeling the same way. How, the reason why the Ted and Nicole fallout is so serious is because in the very beginning, they really hammed it up and said, Bill's this bad guy and Ted,
Mhm.
he's a great husband. He's this and he's that. And then it turns out he has a love child from 30 years ago and boom, at the anniversary party. Like, did you like that scene where Leslie just waltzed out in that dress and
Yeah, that was wild. I said, wow. And Kat got on my nerves then because Eva was trying to stop it. And Kat was like, no, what are you doing? And I was like, Kat, stop being a brat. Like she's trying to save your parents' face and it just didn't happen.
yeah. Well, I will tell you, it is still Ted and Nicole. They're still figuring things out, which I feel like that's the reason why I think this show does really well is because it's reality. Like you wouldn't expect someone to get back with their husband after being in a relationship that was decades long, and then you find out they have another child, and the woman came to town to ruin your anniversary party. Like, there's
Mhm.
no possible way you could just say, "Okay, let's give this a go." So I can say they are still figuring it out. Like that's not
Yeah.
really a spoiler. Like they're not back together. Like they're still figuring things out.
Okay. Yeah. And I feel sorry for Eva. because her mom seems like she was a piece of work, and I hate that she got caught in the crossfire of all of this. I think, well, it came out, of course, that her mom kind of lied and made it seem like Ted abandoned them when in reality, Ted didn't even know that she existed. So I didn't like how her mom kind of manipulated her because I could tell she actually loved Nicole. Like she saw Nicole as like a mother figure. She even said to this point where I'm at in the show, she even said, um, I wish something along the lines to Tomas, like I wish I had a mom like Nicole. No, she said it to Laura. I wish I had a mom like Nicole, or I wish I miss Nicole, and they're going through that whole thing because yep, Ted is basically saying we can help each other, kind of getting Nicole's good graces. So I guess Eva will eventually start working for Ted because he kind of planted that opportunity, like, hey, you can come and be my assistant or something to that extent.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what do you think of so Chelsea and Madison? They're together, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. What do you think of them? And side note, I will tell you, people are going to hear this and say, I hate your friend because so many folks hate Eva. Like they don't see poor Eva. They see this was an adult who learned of a situation, quickly realized, oh, these people aren't that bad. And my dad didn't know about me and then waited to the last minute. What do you say to people who feel like that? And don't look online. There's a lot of
I'm not. I see that. I see that because it's exactly what happened. She was in on this plan, and then I knew that was going to happen though. When she got with them and like how she would just stare at their pictures and like daydream about them and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, she's definitely seeing like, hey, I can't dislike these people. However, I do feel like she, out of everybody, like her mom involved, she actually owned up and took accountability and she apologized. Like you can tell, like she was genuine, like, hey, I'm sorry. This is what happened. I was originally on the plan. I didn't know until she said at the party that, you know, all this stuff about what really happened. I didn't know that Ted legit didn't know who I am. So I think I have a soft spot for her on that front because I'm like she only reacted to it was one-sided how she reacted. And then now she's building a relationship with her dad. So I do think that honestly, no offense, her mom needs to go away so she can like kind of like experience the life that she deserved.
so you're not a Leslie fan.
I'm not a Leslie fan. Heck no. Like
Or an
you
Anna or a Lulu or Sherry fan.
No, I'm not that because, like, lady, okay, let that hurt go. You sat here and robbed your daughter of an opportunity. Now, I get the whole situation, like Bill ran her out or whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna like say in this economy, girl, you could have reached out to Ted and said, hey, we had a kid. I didn't get the abortion. Like it was just very dramatic. Like, and then now she's like sneaking in his room, sneaking on his floor, trying to like get his attention and daydreaming that her and Ted would be together and Ted would be like, I always wanted you. Like, that's just too much. Like you didn't really care about your daughter finding her dad. You did that for you because you love that man and you still hurt from decades ago.
Yeah.
So I think with Eva, like, yeah, okay, Eva was the bad guy, but in the same, like, she, I guess, wrote her wrongs. Like, she was like, hey, I did this. I'm sorry. I can't take back what I did. Can we move forward? Can we, learn each other, build a relationship that way? So I do agree. Like, she did have her faults, but I think that she is like in a position to, she don't want to fight about this anymore. She just want to do what's right.
All
And
right. Okay, so you hate the articulate storyline. You ain't got time for that. You love Danny. You
I
don't like
love me some Danny
you don't
Dupree.
like Leslie. You don't really like Kat. You want Danny and do you want Danny and Bill back together?
I would say right now, I wouldn't want them back together, but I do like their little love taps. Like you can tell, like, I don't know, I just don't buy him being in love with Haley. I don't buy that. And maybe I don't buy it because I just think it's wrong. Like how they met and made a relation, like that's just too wrong. And then Haley is annoying too, because I mean, you're sitting up here acting like these people owe you like respect and stuff. And I'm like, you do remember you were Naomi's best friend. So like this is weird. Like, no, she's never gonna forgive you for that.
Yeah. What do you think of Naomi and Jacob and Ashley and Derek? Kind of the people who, and the point where you are, they're side characters almost.
Yeah, so I like Naomi and Jacob. Jacob is annoying. Jacob gets on my last nerves. Like he just, like he is just Captain Save a Ho, literally. I'm sorry. Can I say that part, Captain
You
Save?
can. You can say whatever
Oh,
you want.
okay.
We don't edit on here.
Okay. Yeah, I think Jacob, he's annoying. It's like, I don't know. If we're
You don't like the good guy. I know.
I know. I can't even like even his position on the police force. Like we all know that man, what's his name, Marcel. Um,
Mhm.
he's a bad guy, and he's sitting up here like my dad said, and it's just like open your eyes, like you're
Right.
really failing at this detective title and stuff. So yeah, Jacob is annoying. Um, and then I'm still salty with Jacob as far as like how he arrested Danny. So I.
Where are we with Vanessa and Doug?
Oh my God.
Or where are you?
So they, I guess, he not the bad guy,
Joey?
Joey. He introduced the idea of like laundering money through her um real estate firm, and she seems like she's open to the idea. I don't know how I feel about their role. I honestly, every time they come on the screen, I just kind of be like, oh, okay,
Hmm.
because I'm tired of it. Like it makes no sense. It doesn't flow, and I'm just ready to get back to the other storylines.
And where are you with Martin and Smitty? You've met the kids, right?
Yep, met the kids. We're at the part where I guess the dreams are becoming, I guess, too much for Martin. Because I really want to know what happened. Like, I haven't, so if they revealed what eventually happened, I'm not there yet. So I'm at the part where he had another talk with his grandfather, and he's debating whether or not to come out to Smitty about what really happened. But because his grandfather was like, hey, the best way you can protect everybody is just stay silent.
Yeah. What do you think of Oh, well, I guess Ashley and Derek. I was gonna say Mona and Jan, and Leslie's old friends, but yeah, like Ashley, Derek, Mona, Jan, all those characters.
I wish Ashley would just come out and say that she likes Andre.
Yes.
I just
Okay.
want her to come out and like they're dragging this. Like I knew that Derek, like how she was just like snapping on him for cleaning and stuff like that when they moved in. I said she don't like that man.
She
I
don't
just
like that man.
she don't like that man.
In the Beyond the Gates fandom, I just don't think that you can have two characters deliver a baby, have the baby named after them, and then not have them together. So that is something that I get a lot of pushback on because people are like, he would never be with her. Well, clearly, like you saw something, or did you see like what's your take on it? I don't want to put you in a position where I'm making you agree with me. Do you like Andre and Ashley together?
I do.
You are
Because
my people.
from the very first episode, when they introduced their character and they had like the whole staring at each other in the hospital, and then the other nurse popped up and said, "Man, you know he's a playboy. You know Ashley, don't mess with him." You could just tell that it's something about Ashley. She likes that lifestyle. She like a little challenge, and I was like, okay, I can see this. So I knew like even before they delivered the baby, I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna be trouble because they like each other.
See, they should be together. Like, and I'm not saying if they're not or if they are, but there are so many people who comment and say, we don't like them together. And I'm like, y'all be for real. Because really what they're saying is they don't like interracial couples. I know how people are. I know.
I actually like him to. I like them together. I want him to stop messing with Danny. I'm waiting for that little relationship to just come to an end. I want him to be with Ashley, so that way Danny can like properly move on. And I want her with Carlton. I think they'll be a cute couple.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It,
want her with Carlton. Yeah.
it gives me the ick that so you're at the point where they're like sleeping together, right?
Yes.
And it's
Ugh.
just like, I would die if my first cousin on my dad's side was having sex with my mom.
Yes.
I'd be like, what? Like, they make it seem like she didn't see him growing up. But
Right.
actually,
Because didn't Nicole and Ted like father him because his
yeah,
dad
they took him in
parents
whenever
died?
he was a
So
teenager.
yeah,
Yeah,
you practically raised this like that's weird, Danny. And I think Danny did. She's doing that because of the Bill and Haley situation. Like Bill went and got a young tenderoni, and she's just kind of like, oh well, what about
he
me?
needs a young tenderoni.
She
Yeah,
does, but nope. She needs a Carlton, like somebody who. How can I say it? Like in a sense, and it goes back to say, like, you know how men cheat down? Like Bill cheated down. Like, yeah, Haley is pretty, but like Haley does not add value to Bill's life, if that makes any sense.
it does.
She's a young girl that he's basically taking in, like he's raising Haley.
Yeah,
He's raising Haley. And I think Carlton, if the story, if the writers put it together where Carlton and Danny they get together, I think Carlton adds value. Like, how can I say it? Danny won. You get what I'm saying? Like he's a nice doctor. Danny's also successful, so it's like two successful people coming to like take over versus Bill and his little child bride, as they like to call her. Child bride. And Haley is crazy because why are you taking all this disrespect? The fact that Danny walks in and out of your house as she pleases is crazy.
yeah. Would never happen to
Right.
me.
Like they'll be out, sitting in the living room and Danny come busting through the door. And I'm like, yeah. Even when he was sick in the hospital, like Danny was kind of like, I'm the first wife. I know this man. Boy, shut up. Like she was basically doing that and Haley just in there looking. And you could tell Bill kind of liked her taking charge and coming and look, when she was leaving. Danny, thanks for caring about me or checking on me. And I'm like, there, he's crazy.
So, are there any more? Oh, well, we didn't talk about Mona and Jan. I absolutely loved the little friendship that they had with Leslie, and I'm sad that Leslie blew it up.
I know. I felt so bad, especially at the anniversary. And Mona, like, she was sitting there like boohoo crying because she was like, I brought this woman into your life. Like, I hate Leslie did that. Like, I feel like Leslie is just tacky. Like, she could have found another way to handle this. And I don't know why. Like, and I think so many other characters said that. And I feel that Nicole did nothing to you. Your beef should not, or it shouldn't be with Nicole.
Yeah,
Ted did this. So, like, the fact that you did this to humiliate her, hurt her, and her, like, that wasn't fair.
yeah.
And that's why I'm just like, yeah, it's a no for me for Leslie. I honestly, I hate to say it, I want them to get a warrant to arrest her.
Mhm.
Like, I want her out of the picture for a minute.
You haven't brought it up, but you are now past the point where the actor originally casted to play Ted has been replaced. Was
Yeah.
that was that a seamless switch for you?
Um, it scared me because the voice was like, Ted Richardson is now being played by Keith's whatever his last name is, and I was like, what? I actually like the original Ted. The original Ted was sexy, like he was fit. He just looked like, yeah. This Ted, he's just kind of like, hi. I don't know. I should have said it like that. He's just not. I don't know. He doesn't. This Ted doesn't look like he's Nicole's type.
I will say I've heard that before. And I actually just spoke to the actor, Keith Robinson, who plays on the podcast, but don't listen to it because you're not ahead. But what I can say is he has been dropped into this role during a difficult time. Like literally, it's like the original actor threw the Molotov cocktail playing Ted, and then the explosion happened, and now Keith is here, and he is dealing with this fallout. And so all of our negative emotions that we have about the situation are easier to put on this new guy because we haven't ever seen him be loving to Nicole, right?
Right. You're right. I didn't think of it like that. You're right. Like the new character came in when the fallout happened, so we don't even know the lovey-dovey side of him.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. What do you think of Anastasia? Like my favorite scene, I think it was her first scene, whenever Eva was in the country club in that pink outfit, which I think it was like Chanel or something. It was really cute.
It was cute, and
But
she said she was talking about her outfit, saying, "What did she call her?"
Looks like you were dressed by a church lady.
Yeah, I said, I did. That's so mean.
I love Anastasia. No spoilers, but we do get to see more of her in the coming weeks and months and over the next year. You know, still recurring character, not on the main.
I like that. I will say overall, I like this show. It's very refreshing to kind of see Black elite. I enjoy watching it. I do. Like, they're the family of all families, country clubs. I like seeing that. I like seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's real life. There are Black elite families, living like this. And
your great uncle, clearly.
yeah.
when are we going to Florida? But no, I feel like the woman who plays Danny, Carla Mosley, we were talking about that. And she said, it is very nice to see Black and brown people living well.
Mm-hmm.
Because so often, we're portrayed, oh, we're struggling. No, these folks don't struggle. Danny doesn't work. Like a lot of them don't work. A lot of them are just working for passion projects, right?
Right. Like Danny momager, and now she's starting her company. And I'm just like, she's literally doing whatever she wants.
Just busy work because they got money.
And I don't know, like, I don't like, hey, back on Haley. I just don't like this Haley situation.
Back on Haley.
That strikes a nerve with me. But I don't like the fact that she's still working as Bill's paralegal. Like, that is just so, like, ugh, to me.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely crosses the line. But, whenever the boss says, I want my wife here, what do you say to the boss?
Well, he actually said he didn't say he wanted her there. He said he told her to leave, and she was like, "No, I like my job, Bill."
Oh my gosh, is that how she sounds?
Yeah, I like my job, Bill. I said, "Okay."
Oh my gosh. Well, are there any more pressing questions before I let you go so you can get back to catching up?
Because you already know that I'm like literally I'm locked in at this point. No, I'm just interested to see what will happen with Danny and Bill. I really hope I'm on the right track. I do see hopefully a love connection between Carlton and Danny. I think Carlton is going to like mellow Danny out. Like I think that's the love that she's probably always deserving of. And it's going to be interesting to see Bill probably chase now because he's like, oh shoot, she found someone. I don't want to say cheat because she didn't cheat, but she won. Like she upgraded her life, her love life, from Bill to Carlton if that happens. So I hope I'm on the right track. I may be way off though.
And they've had some scenes together, her and Carlton, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, yeah, I can't remember that far back. So
only thing that they mentioned of Carlton at the anniversary dinner, and Nicole was like, Sissy, Ted invited some of his single friends, and then it cut to the next show, I guess, scene where he's talking to Carlton. So I was like, yes, single friend, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, we will see. Well, if there's not anything else, friend Amber, thank you so much for hopping on here
Absolutely.
and talking with me about Beyond the Gates. I'm so glad that maybe I made a convert out of you. I think you probably saw my post, but um,
Yes,
yeah,
I'm so happy I've been able to kind of binge watch all the episodes. So I can't wait until I'm like close to where you are or real time. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm literally averaging probably like 10 episodes a night at this point, or try as many episodes as I can. Let's just say that throughout, like if I'm at the nail salon, I'm watching episodes. If I'm, I don't know, doing something, I'm watching on my iPad. So
awesome. Well, friend, if you don't have anything else, I'll let you go. But I can't thank you enough for hopping on here and talking to me about Beyond the Gates.
absolutely. I can't wait to join you again. And I'm gonna tell your viewers, don't beat me up yet. Okay, I'm still new to the show, so probably a couple of weeks from now, I'm gonna say, hold up, we got to delete my previous response because
I rescind what I said about Kat. I love
right.
her. I love Leslie. I hate Danny. I rescind all that. You heard it here, folks. She's going to come back and rescind everything she just said.
I know, I know. All righty then. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, friends. See ya.
All righty, bye bye.
Big thanks again to Amber, and I cannot wait. Girl, I cannot wait until she's all caught up so we can really talk about what's going on. And Amber, if you're listening, stop listening right now. Okay, last week's episode. Let's start with Monday. Do y'all remember whenever Lynette fangirled over the Danny Dupree? Well, Danny remembers, and this is how she's going to be connected to Haley's big secret coming out. Lynette fangirled over Danny before Haley was mugged, and she let Tomas and Vanessa know the two seemed pretty chummy, gal pals, which doesn't line up with the friendship timeline Haley has thrown out there for Bill, Tomas, and anyone who's willing to listen. Side note, I do not like how invested Danny is regarding the situation because we know it has nothing to do with protecting her children and everything to do with her still holding a flame for Bill. I also got a good laugh out of Haley not helping Bill when he was choking on that food she brought him. Billy Goat deserves all of this for how he treated Danny. Ashley's in danger. We knew this was going to happen. Ashley makes an excuse to come to the hospital to steal some medicine for Grayson, who looks horrible in her studio apartment in her bed. She lies to Shanice about switching schedules and then bumps into Leah as she's stealing the medicine. Leah demands she gets back to work as she's trying to leave because, you know, they're short-staffed there, and that's what Leah cares about. Now, at the same time, Jacob is demanding Grayson make it back to the hospital to do that drop, or else they're both going to be in trouble, which Grayson does make it back to the hospital. And Ashley is able to hand that medicine off to him. Leah gets on an elevator with Grayson and tells him to go home. He looks like crap and that she will keep an eye on Ashley, clearly alluding to the danger that Ashley is in. Now, Smitty, who's also part of the storyline, had some scenes with Jacob about the latest information. He also questioned Shanice about blood donations under the guise of doing a story. But at this point, it doesn't seem like Smitty or Jacob are going to figure out who's in charge of the plasma ring. And finally, for Monday, Nicole and Kyle had some scenes. Kyle wants Nicole to meet his family, his sons. She's taken aback. They flirt. And you know what? The good thing about this being my podcast is I don't have to talk about things that don't really interest me. And this particular storyline at this particular point does not interest me. So let's go to Thursday's episode. I'm demanding we meet Willow ASAP. So in a scene dripping with irony, Leah tells Madison she should take a sabbatical because she doesn't want to have to suspend her pending the result of this lawsuit being brought against her. Now, Madison still gets to do her research, but she is so distraught about all this because she can't see patients all over this lawsuit that her mom, Willow, has caused. So she runs to her fiance, Madison does, calls Chelsea, and they meet up at the country club where they do some, not kickboxing, but they're beating up on this bag. And then after they're finished, because we actually don't see any of that, them hitting the bag, we see them practicing. But after they finish, Madison gets a phone call, and it is Willow. And she's been refusing to take her mom's calls, ignoring them. So Chelsea's like, let me handle it. So she takes the call and tells her any communication from Madison about this lawsuit is going to come from her attorneys, et cetera, et cetera. This right here is an open invitation for Willow to show up, because no way any child of mine would ignore me over this situation, even if I was in the wrong and didn't think I was in the wrong. I would just show up. I would show up wherever she was and say, we got to talk, right? So that's what I'm hoping happens. I hope she just shows up. And I'm excited to see who's going to play this role. I think I've told you all before that it would be really cool to get Cree Summer. But I don't know if Beyond the Gates got Cree Summer's money, right? But who knows? I feel like Willow has the making for one of those soap characters in the vein of Vivian Alamain, who just comes around every now and then, creates a mess, never really has to pay for the mess that she creates, and then leaves. So, yeah. Oh, and Vivian Alamain is from Days of Our Lives, for those who don't know. So, yeah. Anyway, demanding that we meet Willow ASAP. The patriarchy is alive and well in the Richardson-Smith household. Samantha is pissed that Tyrell is caught sort of hooking up with Jessica. Can I just say, I think it's weird. I mean, I get it. It's a soap opera, and young people, teenagers do hook up. I mean, I was young once, and it's just weird to me. I don't like to see like Tyrell and Jessica upstairs opening up her blouse and making out, because they're children to me in my eyes, even though they're in their early 20s. Anyway, Smitty comes home and they rush downstairs, and he is not being a good dad. He kind of just brushes it off. And Samantha's like, no way, like this is not happening. And at this point, Martin comes in and he kind of walks into the situation, and Samantha tells what's going on. And Jessica, using her newly gained conflict resolution skills, this scene was so funny. She pointed out how Smartin, even though they're a gay couple, might look at Tyrell hooking up with someone differently than Samantha, because he's a young man and she's a young woman. And I've brought this up before, I believe, whenever we saw Samantha with that Nathan guy who wasn't any good. He freaking sucked. But I feel like I said in some of my recaps that I could see like Martin especially, but even Smitty feeling some sort of way about Samantha hooking up over Tyrell. So I'm glad that this played out in real life. And like I said, it was a very funny scene, a real life scenario that I know a lot of people could relate to. That just hammers home why Beyond the Gates is so good. This is a real life scenario that happens in families across America. And thanks to Jessica's conflict resolution skills, Tyrell is grounded until the cotillion. And also, Tyrell is going to be a Banneker man. He didn't get into UCLA, I think that's what they said. He applied for that college because Jessica was, and she did. And so there was like a little bit of back and forth about, well, are you going to go there? And she's like, dude, chill. I just got the letter. Like, I don't know yet. So that was the whole premise for them, like hooking up, because in their teenage minds, sex or hooking up is how you solve your problems. If they only knew. If they only knew. Anyway, moving on. Ted, we were all rooting for you. Ted showed Leslie some kindness, and of course it came at the expense of Shanice. So Leslie storms into the hospital like she always does, and this is right after she and Chelsea had words at Orphe Jean's. Chelsea, for some reason, thought that it would be a good idea to go and confront Leslie about her booking up all those dates. And Leslie was like, girl, ain't nobody talking about that geriatric story. It's on a ventilator. Leave it alone. I don't care about you and the rest of the Duprees. Let me know that's not real. And she does. Anyway, Leslie is already pissed off. And when she gets to the hospital, she turns her ire toward Shanice and Anita, who are talking. And while they're sparring back and forth, Leslie, she just knows how to hit below the belt. And she makes Anita feel bad about Barbara's suicide. Then we see Leah blow off Leslie regarding the free clinic. And Ted sees all this and asks Leslie, and he calls her Dana. Like, that's how he knew her. So he calls her he calls her Dana. Ted sees Leslie and says, "Do you want to come to my office? I'm going to regret this." But, he feels guilty, and perhaps, he actually says this like in the scene after. So, of course, they're having a moment. The moment's, excuse me, I'll leave that in. I don't care. They're having a moment, and their moment's interrupted by Shanice. And as Leslie's walking out, she tells Shanice Ted can't keep his hands off of her. Now, Ted explains, and this is where he refers to her as Dana. He explains to Shanice that he feels somewhat responsible for turning Dana into the person she is, but Shanice wasn't having any of that, and good for you. She told Ted, "Call me when you don't have the urge to be nice to your ex." Okay, we got to run this back a bit. Beyond the Gates writers, we need more scenes with men in towels. So Smitty corners Ted in the locker room at the country club and starts peppering him with questions about the blood donations. Again, it's not getting him anywhere, but I was not complaining about the view because Smitty, he looks good. Like, he works out, and they all work out. So we need more scenes with the men on Beyond the Gates being shirtless. At the same time, as this was going on, Martin and Vernon were talking about this mysterious story Smitty is working on, and I am waiting for it to come out that he was the one that he didn't really hack into Nicole's computer. He just knew where the password was because she keeps it underneath an item, which is a harken back to the days of her and Ted being together. But I think that whenever the story comes out and Leah gets in trouble, they're not going to care that Smitty did it. Like, it's going to be, you shouldn't have done that, but we're so happy that you did that, right? Anyway, going back to Martin and Vernon, they're talking about this mysterious story Smitty is working on. Now, this is in the context of what's happening with Martin and Joey. And this conversation, I believe, is what makes Vernon decide he has to go lay down the law with Joey himself. And that leads us to Friday's episode. So Vernon and Joey come to a truce regarding the debt owed to him for taking care of Kenny and his brother. Vernon tells Joey, "I asked for this favor, so when you come to collect, come to me. Leave my family alone. Stop badgering them. Stop dropping hints at what you know. Come to me." They shake on it, so we'll see if Joey sticks to his word. Martin is going through it again. I really hope we don't have to deal with an emotional Martin for the next 6 months. He snaps at Kat after she calls him a hypocrite. Now, they were having this frenemy brother-sister confrontation in the morning, but him yelling like that was just a touch too far. Kat asks what's going on, but he's very vague and turns the conversation to their parents, whose wedding anniversary was that day. And also, shout out to the Beyond the Gates writers for lining up this episode on the same day as last year's anniversary party episode, May 1st. Now, they didn't say it, but it's implied May 1st is when Nicole and Ted got married. And if you know soap operas, which a lot of you do, probably more than me, they are so vague, usually pretty vague about dates because, they got to age people, they got to make children older, etc. They got to make people younger. But they're usually pretty vague about dates, but not with this one. So it'll be interesting to see if they continue this on as the show continues for the next 2 seasons, for the next, until 2028. I think that'll take us there because they got 2 more years. Anyway, Martin and Kat agree they should check on their parents, and Martin heads down to the hospital where he walks into his mom's office and sees she and Ted hugging. A little awkward for him. Now, those two had a heart-to-heart about having a good run. They even talked about, Martin and what he was going through. But back to their relationship, Ted even admitted that on the night that they met in Maui, he saw Nicole go one way, and Carlton asked him where he went or where she went, and he sent Carlton in the other direction. Wow. It's just these little things you do in life that you don't realize could have big implications on your life. Now, despite Ted's doubts, Nicole reassured him that she doesn't regret their relationship She doesn't regret him following her out as opposed to Carlton because it brought them their kids. And I just got to say, I think Nicole and Ted, I'm trying to smush the names together for some reason. Ned. I almost called them Ned. I think Nicole and Ted are going to find their way back to each other one of these days. I'm calling it right now. On it's the 4th? On May 4th, 2026, we're going to see a reunion of some sort with Ted and Nicole, because I think the writers know the talent they have with Keith Robinson, and they want to see them. They want to see Nicole Daphne and Keith, who have great chemistry together, be a loving couple. So I'm calling it. It might not be this year or next, but it's going to happen. Bill is green with envy. Of course, everyone's working at Orphe Jeans. I don't know how people work in a busy cafe, but Bill sees Andre and Danny laughing it up at Orphe Jeans with Chelsea and Naomi, and he cannot handle it. He is just so, he can't even focus on the work. That's before him. Now, before the girls got there, Danny walked up to the table with Andre and dropped the bomb about Haley and Lynette's friendship timeline not adding up. But Bill didn't react to the news like I thought he would, which was a little surprising. Anyway, Andre leaves after they have their fun time with the girls, as does Tomas, who's going to meet up with Kat. And Bill tried to come and join his daughters and ex-wife, but Naomi runs interference, allowing Danny and Chelsea to spend some quality time together. I think you saw last week how, Danny was super excited to try to model the bags while she's on the runway. And she was like, no, Mom, you're not modeling the Chelsea Cat bags. And you're doing your own thing. Like, your momager days are over. And so Naomi, that's the reason why they're having breakfast together, because Naomi says, Mom feels kind of left out and you ought to make it up to her. Now, anyway, Naomi runs interference, allowing Danny and Chelsea to have that quality time together. And she lies and says they need to talk about Madison's case. But really, Naomi doesn't want Bill messing up her mom's happiness. Now, he has to pretend to not be heated when she says Andre and Danny could even have a kid one of these days. And to that I say, you deserve all of this, Billy Goat. And finally, Kat and Tomas meet up. He tells her Bill has given him the green light to track down Lynette and see what's going on with her. And they start looking at a list of people who she scammed. And Kat apparently knows someone on that list. We don't get a name, but we're going to see where it's going to end up, hopefully this week or the next. And speaking of, here's the preview for the upcoming week.
Next on Beyond the Gates.
Someone is watching Ashley. They sent a photo of her to Grayson as a warning.
Wait, what?
Sorry to interrupt, Miss Anderson, but we are huge fans.
Girl, I think I gotta switch up my order.
Is my wife accusing me of being a spy?
Just know I'm on to you. You could be packing a major secret.
Take one more step and I arrest you.
You're the only woman that I want to be with.
And why does our bed feel so crowded?
I have a better idea.
Okay, that was the preview. Now remember, it's going to be another short week in Fairmont Crest because of soccer. No shows on Tuesday or Wednesday this week. So, what did I miss? What did I forget? And as always, I love you for listening.